It is with absolute honor that I ask you all to join me in please welcoming Aydian Dowling to the stage.
I think there's enough waters up here to feed everybody. If you need some water, let me know. How's everyone doing tonight? Yes? Everybody looks fabulous. I love it. First off, of course, I want to thank everybody at Ramba who has made my presence here available to you all, and also to just be able to spread some awareness about the transgender issues and diversity today in the LGBT community. All the amazing businesses that have come to show your support, I also am thankful to have you here. This is one of the coolest conferences I've ever had the pleasure of speaking at. Because, can you see my face? I'm a little shorter than most. There we go. Because I am an entrepreneur and I'm LGBT. And I don't think you can get any better than the Ramba conference for those two things to join together. Yes, yes. Regardless of what's going on in the outside world right now, we have a whole room and conference full of people who want to make a difference in the LGBT world. In the space of management and leadership, please, I want to give you a round of applause for simply being here today. Yes. So that was a beautiful introduction, and I don't know if I might have stolen everything here, but I want to give a little background about myself for those who may not know who I am. My name is Aydian Dowling. I identify as a transgender male. I use the pronouns of he, him, and his. I'm 29 years old. I've been on hormones for just under 7 years. As I mentioned before, I also identify as an entrepreneur. I own and run an LGBT clothing company called 0.5cc, and I'm also very excited to announce for one of the first times publicly tonight that I have now founded a nonprofit called Point of Pride, which will be taking over all the programs currently offered through 0.5cc, such as our annual surgery fund, which has given up over $10,000 to date, our binder exchange program, which has also given over 800 free binders to those in need who cannot financially afford them. And we just opened up our breast form exchange program for trans feminine individuals also. Point of Pride's mission is to provide gender-conforming support programs that empower trans people to live more authentically, which, please, if you have a moment, check out our website. We'll be live October 10th. 0.5cc.com and pointofpride.org. Besides 0.5cc and Point of Pride, one of my truest passions is speaking. Going to colleges, businesses, prides, events all over the world, and empowering LGBT people to live authentically by sharing their own journey to authenticity. I think this passion and love manifested through my YouTube channel called Alliance Fears, where I've been documenting and continue to document my entire transition since February of 2009. This channel has by far been my greatest outlet to community within the trans world, as well as has taught me so much about the power of being vulnerable in such an open space with others as well as with myself. I've learned through this channel the power of seeing a transformation right before your eyes. And I'm not just talking about a physical transition. I think we can all assume I probably looked a lot different. I definitely did not have this beard that I'm sporting tonight. And I can definitely tell you that when I was identifying as a butch lesbian, I definitely did not think this is where I would be. But I'm talking about a whole body, whole life experience. Physical, emotional, spiritual, all of it. And that is the power of vulnerability. So now that my stats are all laid out on the table, I want to talk about the theme of this year's conference, authentic disruption. Authentic is kind of a buzzword right now, I mean, you see it everywhere, right? Everyone is being authentic. But let's get real, because if everyone was being authentic, then everyone would be vulnerable. And I can tell you right now, that's not the case. Being authentic or vulnerable would mean people can see you. And I really mean see you. Your good, your bad, your successes, your failures. So I want to keep this talk with you all here very authentic and very vulnerable. So as was mentioned earlier, in May of 2015, I entered the Men's Health Ultimate Guy contest. A contest where an everyday guy can land the cover of November's issue of Men's Health. This contest slogan was, "The ultimate guy is a doer who gives back to his community." In this contest, I ended up getting a lot of attention. I was on shows like Good Morning America, The Today Show, as well as interviews and write-ups from just about every LGBT source, as well as non-LGBT news sources such as CNN, Cosmopolitan, and others. But one person it caught the attention of that was really like a daydream was Ellen DeGeneres. And I get this question all the time. I actually just got it earlier. She is as amazing as you think she is. I can tell you that. It actually turned out that I made a YouTube video asking people to vote for me online. And after I put out the video and it got shared and shared and shared some more, we shut down Men's Health website completely. Talk about disruption. I mean, I don't think anything can get more disruptive than an online website literally being shut down. And I want to thank everybody in the audience today that voted for me, that shared the video, or bought the magazine. I didn't vote not once for myself, but my wife, she voted every day, I can guarantee you that. And still, I ended up getting 72,000 votes, all from people like yourself. The most amazing part is if you had two soccer teams, and you had myself versus the other numbers 2 through 21, and you added up all their votes, we still had beaten all of them. That is the kind of disruption that I like. And so when I talk about men's health, I really feel like it's a we who did it, not a me, because I wouldn't have made it to the top 5 if I hadn't gotten all of those votes. That's what did it for me. If you won #1 Reader's Choice, you were guaranteed the top 5 spot. So I may not have made the top 5 without those votes. And that's why it's a we, not a me. Now, this disruption came at all angles for Men's Health, and all of mainstream media, really. But having this Men's Health magazine kind of forced to focus on me, it all of a sudden put this brand new image of what it means to be a man in an area which has historically and currently shows idolized standards of beauty and manipulates us to sell products that are based on ideation of unworthiness for your current self. Talk about disruption again. I mean, we in this room did that, and we can keep doing it over and over again as long as we stand together. But being on all those news outlets and just having so many eyes on me in that moment, it brought up a lot of disruptions, all of them occurring by just being myself. I mean, even in the LGBT community, we had disruption. From the positive side, in the sense that not many people, even in our own community, had seen a transgender man before. But I cannot tell you how many gay and lesbian men and women who emailed me, DM'd me, or Facebook, however the million ways you can contact someone these days. And they said that, literally, I had someone say, I knew about trans women, but I never knew you could go the other way. You can almost imagine every time I heard words like this, the word visibility screamed in my ear, almost deafening me. I mean, we have a real problem if people in our own community don't even know that transgender men exist. And honestly, I'm not sure if even today, our community or the outside community really understand how many trans men are out there today. But don't worry, myself along with countless other transgender men activists are changing that every single day. Thank you. So you can imagine the disruption in our straight communities. I mean, I think we can all agree, seeing this transgender man on TV, this man who was born female, this was a mind fuck for them. I mean, really, but actually what surprised me the most was the internal disruption it created. The fact that by just being myself, I was disrupting the LGBT community. I got and still get countless emails from people in the acronym I share with them, calling me a woman. And in the same sentence, telling me I'm a disgrace to women, and that I am a misogynist by the simple act of transitioning from female to male. The emails I got from gay men asking if they were straight because they found me attractive. Even the emails I got from transgender men and women claiming that I was not a positive representation of the transgender community because we don't all look like that. Wow. I mean, I bet you all thought I would come here and talk about the outsiders looking in, right? But I think that's the most obvious thing. It's almost too obvious to talk about. It was obvious to me that I was going to disrupt the community of readers of Men's Health magazine. I mean, I knew I was going to mindfuck a lot of people. And I really did. I mean, even in the director's note of the magazine I landed on the cover, it says, some people thought one of our contestants should be disqualified. I think I knew who they were talking about. I was even told about 3 separate meetings specifically on my entry in this contest. Talk about disruption. But what I wasn't sure would be disruptive was how my own community took this. Now, I'm not here to say I didn't get any support. I mean, I think 72,000 votes screams, "We support you." But how would you feel if people in your own letter of our acronym thought you were actually doing harm to the community? Would you feel empowered, strong, confident? I mean, there was literally a hashtag made by another trans man that was hashtag Aydian Dowling sucks. That was hard. I mean, it was really hard. All I was doing was being myself, doing interview after interview, trying to put some kind of face to a name. And not to say that it should be the only face, but we see in North Carolina and 30 some other laws like it, we need more faces to the word transgender. Because, yes, thank you. Right now, the only face being put next to the word transgender is a man dressed as a woman trying to lure little girls into the restroom. But do you know what that did to me? It broke me down. It did. I felt like I was almost doing a disservice to my own community. And that lasted a few weeks. I hadn't even gotten the cover yet, but you know what else it did? It created a certainty within myself. I started to really, and I mean really, believe in myself. I woke up. I said, if I don't believe in myself, nobody else will. I stood behind my identity of being a man stronger than ever before, more than I ever knew I could believe. That's what it did to me. It created a certainty in myself, and you cannot stop someone who is certain. So why was my entry in this magazine such a disruption to all involved? From disruption of men's health readers, to the disruption in the media outlets, to the disruption of the gay and lesbian and transgender communities. I know why, and it's not jealousy or envy, it's authenticity. It's because sometimes when you are authentic, you are gonna make some waves by just being yourself. Because sometimes just the way you dress, talk, act, or walk is disruptive. Because authenticity is not a buzzword. It is a state of being. It's knowing you have the right to happiness in whatever form you feel is necessary. It's countless hours searching nowhere but inside of yourself to find what truly makes you happy. It's hard fucking work. And when we as LGBT individuals authentically disrupt communities we step into, it kind of hurts. Knowing that if you just show up to work as you are, being a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or non-conforming gender person, you are going to disrupt the establishment. And what happens when you disrupt a big business? They fire you. They let you go. They claim you weren't a good fit for us. That has happened to me also, so I know that it's true. Has anyone here created such a disruption by just being yourself? You got fired? Anybody in this room? There's evidence right there. I was a cake decorator for 7 years before I began my journey to activism. I was fired once when they found out I was transgender. Of course, you didn't meet the requirements stated in the employee handbook was their excuse, but let's get real here. I was fired because I disrupted their thinking by just being myself. Talk about a lack of confidence. We're all taught to be ourselves, but when being ourselves is disruptive to those around us, we don't feel so hot. We don't feel so, I want to be myself. I can do it. Hashtag, I woke up like this. But I'm here to tell you something different. I'm here to tell you to be disruptive, even if it hurts, even if you have to go out of your way to do it. And you know why? Because that's how change occurs. I mean, how it really occurs. It occurs when people shake things up, when people question the norm, when people authentically show up as themselves and stir up the pot. I disrupted the #1 men's magazine in the world by simply being myself. This 5'5" green-eyed white boy from Long Island, New York, who was born a girl, messed things up. I confused the men who ran Men's Health so badly, they held meetings about me. That's crazy. And I disrupted the other contestants' views on their own masculinity. I mean, literally every interview all 5 of us did, or 5 contestants, no one else got asked what it means to be a man except me. Because they assumed if you had a penis, that was all there was to being a man. And when I walked in there with no penis in my pants and the scars across my chest, I disrupted their masculinity. I made them think about what it means for them to be a man. And for everyone who works at Men's Health, what the word men's before health even means. And that, my friends, is authentic disruption. Before I end here, I want to circle back. I want to talk about why I mentioned so much about the disruption that occurred within the LGBT community. I talk about with that you all and I highlight it because that's who we are. We are all LGBT or allies in this room right now. And to sit and talk about disruption outside of our community, well, history shows us time and time again that we as an LGBT community, we love to disrupt. But really, in this country, we lost 49 lives in one night to our disruption. It would be a disservice to all of those lives lost if we as a community did not come together in unity. We have a candidate right now who will literally erase our strides and marches to equality. We have the highest rate of homelessness and attempts at suicide in our LGBT community. We have hate that resonates from within. We have attacks on each other while the outside continues to attack us. I'm telling everyone here right now, if we do not come together as a community, and I mean now, not later, not after another 49 people are murdered, not after another dozen of transgender women are killed each year in the USA alone, not after another child is put on the street for their sexual orientation or gender identity, not after another suicide, but right now. People say children are our future. We in this room are the children. The future is now. You have in your own two hands the keys. People in this room have the ability to change the world around us. You all have MBAs or you're on your way to yours. Don't wait. Start the disruption today. I want to give you 3 keys on how to start your disruption. Number 1, find your authenticity. We each have something special within us. And if you don't believe it, you're usually the person who has something more special than everyone else. That's why it's harder to get out of you. You've got to find your authenticity. Find your passion. Find what moves you. Why do you get up every morning? Why? Is it for your mother or your brother? Maybe you want to prove someone wrong and show them you've got what it takes. Because you do. We all got what it takes. And the best part is that there is enough for all of us. We need to stop being greedy and share with your neighbor because there is enough for all of us. Number 2, be bold. Why are people bold? What makes a person have to be bold? It's because they're scared. It's because they have fear. And having fear is okay, but don't let it rule your life. We all have to take chances. And yeah, you'll probably fail along the way. And you'll also be successful. But what does it take to be successful? It takes facing your fears and being bold. Believe in yourself. Believe because others may not believe in you. But I can tell you this, when you get to where you're going, everybody will ask how you got there. And the answer is always because you were bold. Number 3, get moving. The time is now. There's something you can do right now, tomorrow, today, this week. I know you have something you've been wanting to do, but you're waiting. Waiting till you get your degree. Or you're waiting till winter break. Or maybe you're waiting for hell to freeze over. I don't know, but we're all waiting for something. But you know what happens when winter break comes? You've been working hard and you deserve some time off. And what happens after winter break? It's a new semester, and you've got to stay focused. And what happens after that? Spring break. And we all deserve to celebrate spring break. What happens after spring break? We get back, and all of a sudden, it's finals, and we've got to buckle down and get through finals. After finals, summer vacation. You know, we all want to celebrate our summer vacation and take some time. But you see, Zig Ziglar taught me this. There's always the future, but there's only one now. Are you going to choose to live today, or are you going to choose to live right now? Thank you. Really quick, if I can have 1 second, I did bring a copy of Men's Health magazine for Rhonda as a thank you. So I just want to thank you all for having me again, and enjoy your night.